Welcome to TRADEREP. This is Short Hammer. It is the 16th of September 2019, and we are taking a look at REGN. And now this is the daily chart. Since about March, we've been on this downtrend, and every time we've tested this trend line, we've just continued to go down. Whether be it earnings, whatever has come down the pipe, it has not been enough to break this downward trajectory. But what I'm looking for on REGN is potentially buyers stepping in these 280s and maybe setting the floor here. And if this isn't the floor, I believe the floor is coming up soon. But I believe this lower 280s is a potential floor. And the reason why I'm thinking this may be a potential floor is that if you look back to the last time we were down this low, it was in May of 2018, and this was the low before we went on the run that took us as high as the 400 area. So that's why I'm thinking that maybe the buyers may be thinking about these levels as they're looking at where we are now, and may see it as an opportunity to get in a little early and ride this back up. We'll see. I'm definitely keeping a close eye on this. But for me, I'm just looking for signs of life just based on the technical levels. I'm not looking at any of the fundamentals, not looking at what's in their pipeline or any of those types of things. I'm just paying attention to this level from a technical standpoint and from a supply-demand zone standpoint. Let's take a look at the lower time frame. I want to see what the 4-hour looks like. Now, the 4-hour chart does look a tad bit more bullish, as if we're trying to push through, but what we'll notice is that all these tests of this downtrend line have been rejected. So we'll see if this is a buy up, and if we can push through these upper 280s and get a squeeze into the 290s. If we reject again, then we may be headed down to even the lower than where we went here, which was the 271. So this is definitely something to watch. And what's funny is I was watching it down here and I was wondering how low we'd go, and I got distracted. But I'm definitely watching REGN now, and to me the ideal thing would be if it begins to sort of matriculate to the upside after this consolidation. If it pushes to the upside and we get a squeeze into the 290s, and from the 290s we catch a bid and we ride up into the 312s. Now that's probably not a week move. Like, that wouldn't be like this week where that would happen. That may be a multi-week, maybe even a month-long move. I believe they have earnings coming up in November, but I could be wrong about that. But definitely keeping an eye on this to see if buyers see value back at these lower 280 levels, and if they begin to step in and begin to push this stock up. But don't be biased to the long side or the short side. Just let the price action and the chart on an intraday basis let you know where is a good entry, and just keep her tight. If it stays below this trend line, then we can matriculate all the way back down to the 270s. If we get above this trend line, then it's almost like the sky's the limit if the buyers really step in and believe this is a value buy at these levels. So keeping a close eye on REGN, and preferably looking for a long position just because of how far it's fallen. But we'll let the buyers and the sellers decide whether we're going to buy back up a bit or if we're going to go lower.